fortress and my deliverer, my rock, my God and my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and my horn of salvation, my stronghold. I call upon the Lord, who is worthy to be praised, and I am saved from my enemies. So please worship with us this God who is worthy. Rumors of the Son of Man, stories of a Savior, holiness with human hand, treasure for a traitor. No ear had heard, no eye had seen the image of the Father. To heaven came to live with me, a rescue like no other. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name, Jesus. Do not speak, you made your sound. You died for your accusers. But as your blood fell to the ground, you redefined my future. And on the day when you arose, the darkness went for cover. The King of Kings has claimed his throne, and now until forever. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name, Jesus. My author, my maker, my ransom, my savior, my refuge, my hiding place. You're my helper, my healer, my blessed redeemer, my answer, my saving grace. You're my hope in the shadow, my strength in the battle, my anchor for all my days. You stand by my side, you stood in my place. Jesus, no other name. Jesus, no other name. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name. You are worthy. You are worthy of your name, Jesus. sin washed away in your blood. Too much to make sense of it all. I know that your love breaks my fall. The scandal, the grace, you died in my place, so will live. Oh, to be like you, give all I have just to know you. Jesus, there's no one beside you. Forever the hope in my heart. Where is your sting? Your power is as dead as my sin. The cross has taught me to live. Mercy, my heart now to see. The day in its trouble shall come. I know that your strength is enough. The scandal of grace, you died in my place, so my soul will live. Oh, to be like you, give all I have just to know you. Jesus, there's no one beside you. Forever the hope in my heart. And it's all because of you, Jesus. It's all because of you, Jesus. It's all because of your love that my soul will live. And it's all because of you, Jesus. It's all because of you, Jesus. It's all because of your love that my soul will live. Oh, to be like, give all I have just to know you. Jesus, there's no one beside you. Forever the hope in my heart. Oh, to be like you, give all I have just to know you. Jesus, there's no one beside you. Forever the hope in my heart. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day that we get to come together and worship you. I pray for Coach Bell as he comes out in here and speaks to us. I pray that he would speak clearly through you and that you would just let your word be known in this time. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, good morning. How's everybody doing? Good to see y'all, and great to have y'all here. So this morning, as Kara Beth kind of alluded to, we have a very special guest that's going to be speaking to us this morning. I had the privilege of getting to work with Coach Bell from 2017 to 2018, and it felt like whenever you get to know Coach Bell, it feels like you've known him for all your life, and even in that short little span, he and his wife Kim were such a blessing to me, just in how they love the Lord and then love one another. I remember whenever I first got here, and I got to meet Coach Bell. Just remember seeing his just this huge smile, big handshake, and he's just so full of life, and it was so great to be able to work with him. He was the athletic director here. He was a girls basketball coach, head football coach, and I'm really honored to have him here. So, Coach Bell, I'd like you to come on up, and I'd like y'all to give a hand to Coach Bell. Good morning.
Give me just a second. You like puppies, don't you? You like puppies? Okay, we're good. Good morning. How are y'all? Hi, Emily. Golly, first of all, it's going to be really hard for me to control my excitement because of the love that I have for this little place I call In the Hill and In the Valley. It's changed a bunch. The biggest thing that changed is most of you were smaller than your backpacks when I knew a lot of you, and now you have grown into be beautiful human beings. So, again, my name is Coach Bell, and we're going to have a good time this morning. And we are going to find out that that Jesus that you think you know, ooh, man, when everybody else runs away from you, Jesus is going to come running to you. So file that away in your memory banks. You're not getting a pastor this morning, you're getting a coach. So I may turn locker room on you a little bit because of the excitement that I have. There's going to be some sports analogies that are going to be thrown in here. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Okay, I need you to do something for me. I need you to stand up. Be the last time you get to now for about an hour. I'm teasing. Okay, I'm going to get up here so I can do this. Okay, I need you to do the following. Some of you take your hands and do this. And some of you take your hands and do this. Well, that's perfect. All right. Hang on. Hands up. Yeah, you can even open your mouth if you want to. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, you can sit down except for the seniors. You can sit down except for the seniors. Okay, first of all, thank you so much because I'm going to get to be a hero today because my mom-in-law's in town. And basically what it is you don't realize it, you just gave me a standing ovation, and I've got it right here. So when I get home today and she says, how was it? Because she knows I'm coming to speak to you, I'm going to say, they were so excited that I got a standing ovation, and I've got the pictures to prove it. Okay, so it's in writing, and it's there, so we know it forever. Okay, seniors, I'm going to pray over you right quick. We're going to pray the blessing of this word, and then we're going to dive in, and we're going to see what Jesus has got for us today. Our dear Lord and most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you so much for the gift of seniors. I pray for their guidance, for their protection. Father, help them to realize that how the rhythm of the school year is going to be based upon their leadership. Let them quietly in the identity that you have given them to lead the way that they're supposed to, some vocally, some quietly, some just their presence. Father, I pray for their unknowns. I pray for if they're not sure where they're heading, where they're going to go. I pray, Father, I know this is kind of scary if there's any moms or dad here, maybe for them, within the next 7 to 8 years, they're probably going to be finding that person that they're going to spend the rest of their life with. So, Father, thank you for the gift of them. Guard their hearts, protect them, and we begin to pray right now as they're going to journey off of the year, off into the new life here in less than 7 or 8 months. We thank you for the gift of them. Father, we thank you for today. Let the words that I speak, that these kids understand that they are brought forth from you. We thank you so much for your love and protection. In your name we pray. Amen. Well, I'm Coach Bell. And I think David's got something he's going to pop up here for me. So here we go. So this is just a snapshot of some of the blessings that I get. If you start right over here, you can see back in 1981 when Coach Bell was a quarterback for Tarleton State University. We were on our second practice of 3-a-days, guys. Not 45 minutes here, not an hour here. Our second of 3-a-days. And that walked up to me and handed me a popsicle. And needless to say, I was in trouble from that day forward. So now we've been doing life together for 43 years. I've got to call her mine. She was mine that day. She just didn't know it. But I've got to call her mine for almost 38, which we're closing in on 39. And I'm going to throw in just a tidbit. You're going to get a lot of these as we move through. But who you choose to spend the rest of your life with that God gives you is going to be a huge thing. You're talking about a lady that has poured identity into me because of her Christian walk and the Christian lady that she is. From that beautiful person, I got the gift of those right next. Those are my three Miss Americas right there. That's Ashley to the left. She lives here in Bryan College Station. Our middle, Kaylee, in her life is just like their smile. Kaylee lives in Dallas. And then our baby, which graduated from Brazos Christian right back here in 2018, that's our Brooke. All three of them are working out in the world now. Two of those are married. That's our beautiful family. So God gave us this next. Ashley now has her Brent. And Kaylee has her Will. Perrin was also a graduate of Bryan College Station and a graduate of here at Brazos Christian. And the cool thing about it is I made the statement at our middle daughter's wedding that I've given two of them away and I'm not going to be able to give my third away. And I think Perrin kind of took it to heart, so I don't know if he's ever going to ask her, so I'm probably going to have to sit down and say, hey, it's really okay. You can just go ahead and do that if they are. So his timing is right. Then there's Jesus love. Jesus love's at the bottom. God has gifted us 4 incredible grandchildren. Our Eden would be 7 this coming October, and she's gone to the Lord in heaven. And so she's in an incredible place. But then we've got the gift of our Crawford, which is our 3-year-old. You football guys will get this. We're already working on an NIL. We've got some negotiations going on as we speak. So it's never too early to get that started. So I got my quarterback, little Ezzy. Little Ezzy's to the right there. He's 1.5. And I think we've got our tight end right there. And then God got me back in the girl world, which I'm absolutely comfortable with. We've got our little cheerleader. We've got our little point guard. All 3 of them will learn how to fish. And then we got the incredible gift of the blessing that number 5 will be coming at the end of February or the first part of March. So you got Crawford, you got Ezzy, and then you got, it's hard for me to get this out, our little Andy, and it's spelled with an I. So the privilege of having that little girl as we get to walk through life together. So they're a gift and a blessing. Okay, now, where are we going today? What are we going to do? It's slide number 2, Mr. Hanson. Do you have identity protection? I saw a commercial the other day. Your mom and dad probably sweat this more than you do. But have you ever been hacked? Has your social media ever been gotten a hold of by somebody else, or somebody else may be doing something along those lines? Is your money okay? One of these days when you've got your own bank account doing the things that you are, how do you know everything is okay along those lines? Then underneath it, we're also going to take a look at what is identity and where do we find it? And then how do we strengthen it, grow it, and protect it? Definition. What is identity in Christ? Does anybody have anything they want to throw out? I'm not going to put any pressure on you yet. Anything at all. One word. Anybody got one word? Quiet this morning. It's okay. Okay. Yes, sir. What's that? What you say you are. Okay? I'll agree. You're spot on perfect. You know, I kind of searched through the same thing, trying to come up with this miraculous thing. Sometimes, all God wants us to do is just sit down. I know what's going on, and let's just see what's happening. So the definition that God kind of gave me, and I'll share with you, who God is making you, molding, shaping you to be in His image. Who He's molding, shaping you to be in His image. So that's what we're going to take a picture of, and that's what we're going to be looking at as we kind of travel through. All right. Now, the biggest thing that, before we kind of dive in, is where are we pulling our information from? I don't have to tell you this. The world that we all live in today is, where do you find truth? Where do you find your answers? Where do you get your information from? Where do all these different things maneuver through that we try to compile to get where it needs to be? I think if I ask any of you in here, the one spot that comes from is from the Bible. The truth book is what I like to call it. So this morning, rather than have you flip through your Bible, what I've done, if you're going to see this kind of funnel down as a cone all the way through. So I've gone through and picked some verses through that God has given me to where a lot of our information, also just from some life experience that God has taught me this morning as we have this small time that we've got together this morning. Okay, so here we go. The first one is found in Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It was given to me by my mom in my first Bible. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all ways acknowledge Him and He will make your pathway straight. There's an identity right there. Straight, leaning on Him. John 15, 16 tells us, you didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit. There's another mark and trait. We're going to talk about a few of those. A lot of you are already going. You're already probably thinking right there, okay, that's a fruit, that's a fruit, that's a fruit. No, it's not a banana. It's not an apple, mango. Completely different type of fruit. Jeremiah 29:11, which has come very, very precious to our home right now. For I know the plans, there's your identity, I have for you, and declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hope and a future through the plans that he has for you. Now we're funneling down to me it just got better as God began to unveil these. 1 Corinthians 12:27, all of you together are Christ's body, and each of you is a part of it. All of you are Christ's body, and each of you are a part of it. Your specific point in the fingerprint that you carry. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things, Coach Bell, through Christ that strengthens me. Now I'm going to need your help right here because I think it's going to kind of sound crazy, but basically what's going to happen here, I think the guy upstairs is going to be real happy. When you hear right after you hear the word thing, I want you to say your name right after it. Everybody got me? As soon as you hear the word thing, say your name. Not your name, your name. Here it goes. I can do all things. A little louder. I can do all things, Coach Bell, through Christ that strengthens me. There's your identity. God's got you. He's going to strengthen you. And then where God kind of drops the mic, as far as I'm concerned, is found in Ephesians 2:10. We are God's work of art. You are his masterpiece. Honestly, we could stop right here, and I could spend the next whatever time period that I have with you on pointing out the traits that you have that are incredible. The thing that is awesome for me this morning is that I get to be here. The thing that is not so awesome for me this morning is I don't really get to know you. I don't get to sit down at a sandwich, sit down with you at lunch, walk between here and there. It used to be the old cubicles, so y'all have an incredible blessing that you've got right over here. And I know if you didn't know that, we could roll back time and you could see that. But just remember that God created you as a masterpiece. I don't have to go to a museum this morning. I go right here. You know, and also, Ms. Woods and I were talking on the way in this morning. The cool thing about Tuesday, every Tuesday, where worship is taking place, Satan will not dwell. So you can walk in these doors every Tuesday, take a deep breath, and go, we've got worship going on. Wow, God gave it to me back in 2020, March the 23rd. About 10 days after that, we had wonky things that all of a sudden hit Coach Bell between the eyes. He gave me wow time. Wow time is worship over worry. Worship over worry. What does it tell us? If we're worshiping, Satan cannot dwell. Pack it away, use it. Wow, worship over worry. Okay. I'm going to try to put this where you can see it. I'll raise it up. Trust me. Some of you high-level thinkers are already going, ooh, I know what that is. I know what that is. Now I need some help. I'm going to give you that. Don't drink it. Just catch it. You got it? You got it? You got it? You got it? I'm not going to leave you out. Don't drink it. Don't drink it. Here you go. Ready? Right here. Oh, here we go. Right there. Right there. And got it. Okay, where's my defensive tackle? Who's the strongest football player? It might not be on the team. Right here. Who's the strongest? Stop. Come on. Right here? No. You got it. Okay. Woo, okay. All right. Okay, you've got one job. If you watch football on Saturday, you know what I'm talking about. You've got one job. I'm going to use yours, okay? So, those of you that have got the water, you got one choice. You can hold it like this. You can hold it like this. If it kind of starts shaking or gets, you can move it over here. I don't care. It's not much. Well, you got the big one. You got the tough one. You may want to use two hands. You can't rest it on your knee. You can't put it on your head. You can't put it on your shoulder. Grab a hold of it. You got it. All of you people go water. We'll come back and visit with you, so have fun. You may want to switch shoulders, okay? We don't want to hurt that other one, okay? We'll see. All right. Does anybody, I've kind of let the cat out of the bag, but I'm going to hush. Ready? Uh-oh. I already heard a Okay. What, why the uhs? Why the uhs? Why the I mean, they look the same. I bought them on the same day. It's milk, I guess. Anybody got any hypothesis of what just transpired? I'm all ears. What happened? A little louder. I left one out, and the other one was where? Oh, man, you're smart. So he basically said, from the observation, one got left out. Yeah, it's getting fun, isn't it? How you water people doing? Y'all doing okay? Yeah. One got left out, and the other one got put in the refrigerator. Milk's supposed to be in the refrigerator. Yep, Coach Bell left it out. It's been out for about 3 days. So the first thing that we can kind of point down to is the problem was the problem on the outside? Nope, everything looked the same. We held it up, looked at it, it had its label, everything's going great, no problems, no issue. But was it in the right environment? One of them was, one of them wasn't. Exactly right. So basically what began to transpire is over the course of time, we've got two problems. In our roles with how our identity is seen in Christ, environment is everything. Where are you putting yourself? Where are you getting your information? Who are you hanging with? All of those different things. He may look great on the outside, but the other thing is most everything comes from the inside and works its way out. Okay, part 2 here. We're going to make us a Christian identity cake. We ought to call this angel food cake rather than just cake, especially with this morning. So I'm going to give you a hint here. If we go to Galatians 5:22, so in order to make a cake, you've got to have what? Okay, you got to have, or even more particular, you've got to have eggs, milk. I've heard it. You've got to have ingredients. But we're making a Christian identity. So what's going into you? Eggs, milk, I'll agree. Anything else? Fruits of the Spirit, Galatians 5:20. What is it? Okay, the Bible, but what's in the Bible that gives it to you? You smile because you are joyful. Anything else? The fruits of the Spirit are what? Man, you got them. I'm telling you, that is worth a hint. Yeah, I'll tell you, that's so good. I'll tell you how good that is, because he got every ingredient there is. Oh yeah, your life just got a whole lot better. Since we're making a cake, it's pretty ironic. But in case you didn't get it, love, peace, kindness, joy, patience, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, all of the ingredients. So we've got our environment. We may look good on the outside, but are we good on the inside? And then the next thing is, what are the ingredients that God is pouring into us? And where are we getting those? Now, some of you have already said it, but there's 2 other things that we've got to have to make a cake. If I take this box and dump it in a cake pan and put it in the oven at 375 degrees, are we okay? No, we're not. Somebody, you've already said it. What are 2 things that we've got to put in there for that cake? Go ahead and say it out loud. Egg and milk. We'll stop right there. So God gives us 2 things. He gives us 2 things, and those are grace and faith. One of my favorite verses is the only thing that matters is faith working through love. It's found in Galatians 5:6b. So grace is something that God gives freely. It's yours. You've got it. You do not have to ask for it. God's just got it waiting there for you, and He gives it through love, and He gave it through the ultimate price, which was through Jesus. Now, what in the world is faith? Okay? Every time, every day, a lot of situations, you get to wake up, and you're either going to get the choice of living in faith and fear. And both of them are something that you cannot see. But ultimately, you get to make the choice. So you may be saying, Coach Bell, I don't wake up fearful. Do you wake up anxious? Do you wake up worried? Okay, we got a big ball game Friday night, and I'm not sure I can cover the guy that's in front of me. I made 3 mistakes last week. I fumbled twice. Okay, I didn't set the ball the way it should have been. I didn't study as much as I should have. I made a 70 on that test. I'm in trouble. I've got a big assignment that is due. I'm not getting along real well with my mom and dad. So yeah, you might be worried. You might be anxious. So a great definition that God gave me, and it happened to come at 3:05 in the morning, and it came about 2 weeks ago. Faith isn't the absence of doubt. Faith is the means to push through it. We all have doubt. If we were going to be honest about our Christian walk, Coach Bell does. I'm way on down the years. I've gone through a lot of life experiences. I've had some things that have happened. 26 years old. All of a sudden, I've reached to find the phone. The next thing you know, my dad's gone to heaven. Wow. At that moment in time, you start to realize, okay, God, are you who you say you are? I'm going to tell you emphatically, God is who He says He is. He will show up in your lives. I've seen it in other things. At our house, we call them the 2 B's, blessings and battles. Okay, blessings and battles. You know what a blessing is. I showed you some up there a few minutes ago that I have in my family. The blessing of coming here. The fabulous staff that's here that I got to work with. Some of them are still here. And the beautiful people that they are, in which God made a masterpiece. You know what a blessing is. What in the world's a battle? A battle is something that's hard. Life's hard. Okay, you may be going through some things that are hard right now. Okay, that's okay. The other thing that I would be real quick to tell you right now is that you're loved and you're cared for. There are several people on this staff that have my cell phone number. If you're ever caught in something and you just need something, I've walked through the world of sports. I've lost crazy games and crazy situations. Coach Alvarado and I would tell you, we lost one of the most heartbreaking ball games here because honestly, we were fixing to win a state championship, and all of a sudden, life got hard. It mattered to us because of the time that we had invested in. Volleyball, basketball last year, incredible run, made it to the state tournament, and then all of a sudden, life got hard. But all the blessings that came along it. But if you're walking through a battle, here's what I would let you do. Pop your collar, tighten up your dress, lace your shoes up, and you just walk right through it like you own it. Because I promise you, you've got a God that is big enough that's just going to hop on your shoulders and walk directly with you. Okay. Remember, it's not just faith. It's faith that moves forward, that triumphs. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to do those individual things? We found out that environment happens. The fruits of the Spirit, we kind of have seen what different things should be showing up in your life that are kind of giving you some examples of, hey, I have my identity in Christ. I'm kind. I'm happy. I'm joyful. All of those things. I read my Bible. I pray. I put myself in all those different situations along those lines as far as life goes. Okay, water people, you can relax your arm. Put it down if you want to. Okay, last slide's going to take us home. Let go. You let go of the water. I'm going to ask a couple of you. You had the heaviest one. So was your water heavy? Okay, would it impede? Could you listen to me, or were you paying attention to the water? I'll ask any of you, those that had it. Were your thoughts on the water of how long am I going to have to do this? I'm kind of irritated that Coach picked me. Do you think you could do that all day long? If I told you just to hang on to it, would it matter where you put it? Okay. Kate, you got a volleyball game. Go play tonight? You got a volleyball game tonight. I'm going up for a kill. Now the cool thing, I can just drink my water when I spike. No. Okay. Can I put my clothes on? Can I drive? Okay. How many of you are packing water in the forms of things that you cannot let go of from your past? Let it go. Let it go. God is not interested in what you've done. He's not interested in what went on a long time ago. He doesn't care that you had a problem on that test. It doesn't matter that you didn't do the things that you needed to do on Friday night to get the win on the football field. Did you get better? Did you correct them? Did you correct them on Monday? Are you going to correct them on Tuesday? Okay, how's your schoolwork? How's that relationship going with your parents? Okay, there's two things to kind of put along the lines of letting it go. Don't let your past talk you out of what God has for your future. Don't let your past talk you out of what God has for your future. That's what Satan wants to do. Satan wants to speed you up, make everything go, wake you up every day and go, man, do you realize what you did the other day? You said something ugly. They said something ugly to you. You're carrying that. You got that water that you're holding on to. Some of you are holding 10 gallons of water. Some of you are holding the big thing of water. Some of you got 20 of those little water bottles stuck on you. It's going to weight you down. Just let it go. Identity in Christ gives you the ability just to let those things go. God doesn't keep score. It's why there's a sunset and there's a sunset and a sunrise every morning. A new day, a new pen, a new chapter, a new page. You get to pick up the pen and you get to write that day. And then the second one is, in most cases, we can't become what God meant for us to be because we are attached to what we have always been. In most cases, we cannot become what we're meant to be because we just will not let go. Okay? I've had those things. Identity is one thing. Coach Bell's identity. I'm a coach. Okay? I was a husband. I was a football player. I loved coaching. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, God said, "Coach, you're not going to be a coach anymore. God, I've got something else for you to do, Coach Bell. You're just going to go be Andy Bell." He had me in a completely different deal. Took it out. And yes, I went kicking and screaming. Okay? But I had to realize that that was my identity, not that the identity that God has for me and your purpose and your plan and your unique fingerprint that nobody else in this world can do. Number 2, working through decisions. I'm just going to give you 2. I'm going to be real brief here. Decisions have an effect, okay? Have an effect on your identity in Christ. How you do them. One that's worked well for our family, I started it a long time ago. I got it from somebody that poured in me from my granddad. Okay? Peace and pause. Peace and pause. You can remember it. If God gives you peace, guess what? Move forward. Just keep on walking. If God gives you that little nudge of pause, guess what? You better pump the brakes. Okay? You can apply that to anything that you want to decision-wise. Peace and pause. The other one, if you were in the locker room with us, Coach Alvarado's heard me say it, risk versus reward. Risk versus reward. Okay? Our girls, if they walked in right now, Ashley, Kaylee, and Brooke, they would all look at you and go, "Yeah, Coach Bell, or my dad's going to tell you, risk versus reward." So the decision that you make, am I going to push the button on my phone to a site that I'm not supposed to? I didn't study. Am I going to look over and I'm going to cheat on that test? Okay? Am I going to say a word that I don't need to say? I'm in a dating relationship with somebody else. Am I going to put myself or that young woman or me in a situation that could not be exactly the situation that I need to be in? Identity in Christ through our decisions. Ooh, the power of 3s. My favorite number is 8, but I love 3. Show me your 3 best friends. I'll show you where you're heading. I married my best. I've got some incredible friends. But there are those 3 that will hold you accountable in your identity to Christ. I pray right now that you marry that other person that will walk with you through the rest of your life, that will hold you accountable. Okay? 3 days, what happened? Jesus died on the cross, but 3 days, the best part of the whole thing was he arose. There were 3 men on that cross. Jesus in the center that did everything. The guy to his right was not a Walmart greeter. Okay, that's not what he was. He was not a deacon in the church. Okay, he had a choice even then. The guy on his left, okay, looked to Jesus and said, "Jesus, will you remember me on this day in heaven?" Guess what? When heaven's doors opened up, Jesus and that man to his left walked in. I don't know today. I'm not going to assume that you know Christ today. But I am going to be real sad and real disappointed that if both of us get that opportunity, if I don't look over and I don't see each and one of you walking through that. Today may be the day. God may be stirring you today to go, hey, this is what I'm pushing for. So I'm praying for that today, and as you journey through your life, that you'll make the best decision in your life, which is accepting Christ. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. What in the world does that mean? I used to say 3 years, but that's too far because God's working all the time. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Okay? You can do anything for 3 days. If you're having a hard time, I got real sick in 2020. Things were fine, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, they weren't. Okay? Had worked out, all the things that you need to do, eat right, taking care of myself, and then all of a sudden, what in the world is going on? I couldn't go 3 days, but I could go 3 minutes. And then it got to where I could go 30 minutes. Then I tried to go, okay, I'm going to walk this many steps. 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Okay? I'm going to challenge you when you leave here this week, maybe even today, something that you need to unpack and get rid of. Okay? Write it up there on your mirror right there and work on it. You're not going to get it done in 1 day. But can you do it for 3? 3 weeks, guess what the brain does? In 3 weeks, that's 21 days it's formed a habit. Then when you get to 3 months, you got it whipped. And then you can move it through. Also, if you want to put something in your corner that'll last you forever do not let Satan put a period where God put an exclamation point. Do not let Satan put a period where God put an exclamation point. Number 4, God's 4 truths. I believe that there is success in simplicity. God makes it real easy. Y'all are smart people. You go to a place that allows you to talk about Jesus. John 3:16 is as easy as it gets. Okay? The simplest verse in the Bible and the most important one. Also, when I tried to coach, I wanted to make it easy for our athletes. Okay? The big thing right now is what's going on in Colorado. They've got momentum. They've got swag. They're coming. Okay? Jesus is coming. Okay? I want you to be ready to be there. So what are the 4 truths? So I've dug and I wanted things when I was little that would take me from the time that I was small all the way to the time that whenever God decides to take me home. The first truth is this: God will make a way for you. Number 2, He wants to fight your battles. August 3rd, 2020 at 6:05. We got a call back to go to Scott and White Hospital here in Bryan College Station. We meet the doctor, Dr. Harold, that delivered our first grandbaby. And she's got tears streaming down her cheeks. And then we get the word of my forever girl, the one in that upper left-hand picture, Miss Kim, as she is now known as Sweetie, has got stage 4 ovarian cancer. It's at that poignant moment that everything that I knew, I've dealt with hard things, I've walked kids through, but this is a completely different situation. And the first thing that I immediately thought is God, are you who you say you are? And then the second thing was about 3 days later is, God, are you sovereign? I'm going to look every one of you in the eyes and tell you God is who He says He is, and God is sovereign. My identity as Coach Bell is for my job to get up every day to take my athletes and put them in the best possible situation to be prepared so they can excel on whatever night that we were playing. That was my identity. Guess what? God immediately looked at me and said, Coach Bell, this is not your job to fix Miss Kim. I loved her long before you did. That's my job. So I've had to learn every day, and God has to thump me right between the forehead to say, well, no, not your day, Coach. Not today. That's not your job. That's not your job. He wants to fight your battles. He wants to what? The first one is, He will what? Make a way for you. Now here's where it gets really good. Prayer is the most powerful medicine. Coach Alvarado and I were just talking about it. Mike Kimberly's still here because of the power of prayer. A lot of you in here have done that. We've got some people in this room that have walked through some really hard times. 2 incredible ladies that are very dear and special to my heart are still walking through those things. And they would tell you the same thing. God has showed up for them. I don't know. I know some of you in this room very personally. I'm knowing what's going on with some of your parents. I'm just talking about illnesses. I'm not talking about the other things that are hard. There's life in all things. Okay? But prayer is the most powerful medicine. He's a 24/7, 365-day-a-week God. He's not going to send you to voicemail. He's not going to not return your call. He's going to show up for you. And then the last one is the hardest one for all of us, because some of you are asking for things right now. You have to trust His timing. In the waiting, God is working. In the waiting, God is working. So just trust. Let go. Work through your decisions. The power of threes, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Find those 3 good friends. It's going to change. There's some people that you're going to have to, that are on your elevator right now, that you're going to have to graciously go, no, I'm letting you off on the 6th floor. It's not because I don't like you. It's because you're not going to the heights that God has for your identity to go. So you just hug them, love them, and do some other things, but they're not going to be able to stay in that. That's okay. God commands you to do that. I'll leave you with one of my favorite books. If you don't have it, you need to own it. Okay, I always get the title mixed up, but I just like calling it this. It's called The Boy, the Horse, the Fox, and the Mole. It's a kid's book, but you need to have it. You need to have it to read to your kids, to give to your kids. Our grandson will have one. It'll be from Coachy. So I'm no longer Coach, I'm Coachy. So my greatest name ever, coolest name was Dad. And then now Coachy is right up there. So we're starting to look at it. But there's this poignant spot where the boy and the horse are in this incredible, horrible forest. Think about the worst situation that you've ever been in your life. Okay, Coach Bell and Miss Kim and our family are in the middle of one of those right now. But the boy just crumbles down. It's getting dark. It's raining. There's things that are after him. He knows there is. And then all of a sudden, what he does is he feels this hoof kind of kick him. I'm sure the horse just kind of kicked him right in the rear end. He says, "What are you doing?" The boy goes, "We're not going to make it. We're doomed. We're going to die. This is the end of it." The horse goes, "Can you see your feet?" The boy kind of chuckles and stands up and goes, "Of course I can see my feet." "What do you mean, can I see my feet?" He said, "Well, can you see your next step?" And the boy goes, "Yeah, I can see my next step." He said, "Well, just do that then." Sometimes the best thing to do, and with God, the right thing to do, is just to take the next step. I close with simpling it all the way down. All you have to do is win the day. All the way down. You got your truths. Even simpler, you don't have to win Wednesday. You don't have to win Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is. God just wants you to get up and say, "Look what I've got for you today, Emily. Look what I've got for you today, Coach Bell. Miss Lee, look what I've got for you today." Okay? All those different things. Don't miss an opportunity. All you have to do is wake up and win the day. Our dear Lord and most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of these kids. I thank you for their identity that is found in you. May they search, may they seek, may they keep their environments right. May they let go of those problems. I pray right now that before they walk out of here, they'll begin to concentrate on something they just need to let go of. Father, I pray that they'll walk out here today with what you've given in so many things, but the one thing that is the consummate give that you give us is that you love us, you have great plan for us, and we can trust you. So, Father, we're grateful for you, and we love you in all things. In your name we pray. Those of you that held the water, you take that water, that's your ticket. There's something waiting for you at the back that Miss Wendy or Miss Kay will give to you. And thank you for your participation. I'll leave you with one last thing. Be who you are. In the identity that God gave you, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for your time.
How great is love, He's moving on my mountains. His perfect love is casting out my fear. How great is love. Oh, it welcomes me like family. And anywhere I go, it meets me there. 'Cause He is good and He is God. What I earn is not what I got. And He is just, yet oh so kind. What I deserve is not what I find. What more could I say about Him? My God is love. How great is love. Oh, it's faithful through my failures. This trusting love is with me till the end. How great is love. Oh, it's closer than a brother. This is the love. He died so I could live. 'Cause He is good and He is God. What I earn is not what I got. He is just, yet oh so kind. What I deserve is not what I find. What more could I say about Him? My God is love. I know my God is love. I know my God is love. This is enough to know my God is love. I know my God is love. I know my God is love. This is enough to know my God is love. I know my God is love. I know my God is love. This is enough to know my God is love. 'Cause He is good and He is God. What I earn is not what I got. He is just, yet oh so kind. What I deserve is not what I find. What more could I say about Him? My God is love. What more could I say about Him? My God is love. What more could I say about Him? My God is love.